Hello everyone, welcome back to the video. Today's video we're going to be doing a big old throwback, and we are going to be looking at some of the best players throughout the start of Smash, because there's a ton of people that are just like super amazing that I wish I could have showcased, but I couldn't because, this channel didn't really exist. But now it does, and we're going to be talking about those players. Now, most of these players have either retired or just stopped playing, but there is one person that isn't like retired or stopped playing that I want to mention, and that is going to be Rivers, or like when he was named, Shoyo James. Rivers is insane, and he still does pretty well. Like 65th at SmashCon is really good. I got third at Warped, like only losing to Zomba Quandale, and he beat a couple good players there. Riptide 65th, also pretty good. But then 97th at Frostbite is not too bad. 25th at Glitch is pretty good. 17th at Congo Saga though. This is when Rivers was peak. Actually, even like it was like way more early ultimate, but he still was pretty consistent. I think he was using Diddy here as well. I'm not actually 100% sure, but what I'm focused on is the Chrom, because Rivers was the best Chrom in the world, and it wasn't close when Chrom was broken. Rivers was insane with this character. It was unreal. Looking at Congo Sock, he beat Larry Lure, Kameme, which is insane, because that was when Kameme was doing very well. Play with Heart, I know he played Chrom. He beat Moxie. He beat Ouch. He beat Ouch in the early stages. He stopped him from, like, do you know what? That win set Ouch back like 3 years. He saved us all from like Ouch being the best player in the world right now, which I guess isn't really saving us, more of a curse, but whatever. Beat Sinji at Tri-State Showdown, but this is where it gets good. He has a ninth at Nightmare on Smashville, only losing to Cosmos Luis, who are amazing players, beating Nico and Varun. Battle for the East, this is kind of a smaller tournament, but he did manage to win it. Glitch, he gets 33rd, which is not terrible. This is like after Chrom nerfs, unfortunately. Smash and Splash is ridiculous. He beats DeBuzz, Rags, Plup. When Plup was playing a lot, Frosty, who was also a PGR player at the time, absolutely incredible. 13th at Switchfest is really good, beating Hikaru, only losing to MVD and Joker. Then Momocon, he gets 9th, which was also a huge tournament, only losing to Sinji, Samsora, beating Myron, Mudace, Fallen, ton of good players. And then Gommel, his top 8 performance, where he loses to Nairo and Leo, unfortunately. But sorry for the ad. He beats Myron. He beats Cosmos. That was when Cosmos was in like contention for top 10 in the world, like hard contention for top 10 in the world. So that's how you know it's a good thing. Did they just cut? Here, I'll skip it for y'all. Larry he beats Cosmos again, like I just said. Like that is an insane run. Second at Suplex City Smash, only losing to Nairo. But he got wins on Dark Wizzy and the Buzz. Scarlet Classic losing to Zomba again. He's playing like these people early, like Ouch and Zomba. This is before they had their big breaks, but this is like I guess one of Zomba's like first really good wins. 8-Bit Man, who was Area 51 at the time, Yeti and Ned, who were both PGR. At least I think Ned was on first PGR. Yeti definitely was. He was someone I thought about for mentioning this video. I just didn't pick him for no specific reason. And then 9th at Frostbite. Again, this is probably his most impressive performance. It's that or the top 8 that he got at what's it called, Gommel. But at Frostbite he beat Void, who I think Frostbite was before Genesis, who would go on to get second at Genesis. Beat Mudace again, beat Pelka, beat DM, beat Hikaru, beat Esam. Like, look at this run as well. He gets upset so early on, and he goes on a crazy run. Like, Rivers is such an incredible player, and this isn't like he was like destroying people with pre-nerf Chrom. 100% pre-nerf Chrom. Unironically, one of the main reasons this character got nerfed, or at least his up B nerf. Maybe some other things were just like online stuff, whatever. Because I don't think Nintendo cares too much about the scene competitively in that sense. But the up B nerf, he was killing people at 0, last stock, last hit, almost every single time, and he was so efficient with it. Got the confirm so well, and yeah, I missed the Chrom. His Diddy is still insane though. And it's just Chrom fell out of favor. Unfortunate, but he still has a nasty Chrom, and he's still an incredible player. Now, someone else that still does play a bit is going to be Justy, or as they used to go by, Wishes. Wishes was PGR, I think first season he was around the 30s or 40s area. And you can see he still does go to some locals pretty regularly, but I miss him at majors because this was when PT was at peak. His last major was at Let's Make Big Moves last year, or not last year, in 2020. We only lost MVD and Toast, not bad, and 17th place here is pretty good. And then Tri-State Showdown, he beat Juice, Leon, who are both incredible players. Leon obviously is still here to this day. Juice we don't see as much of, but he's absolutely incredible. Big House, he gets an 17th beating Boo Bear. Masta, I think that's for Master Mario. And Puppe as well, who's incredible, only losing to Light and Ned. Glitch Minus World, again, 13th. Like, he is so consistent, beating Stocktaker, beating Cosmos, beating Dill, only losing to Waddy Jackal. Shine, 33rd, like, losing to Black Twins Myron. SmashCon, 49th, like, beating, I thought he beat Kept. He did lose to Kept, and Wrath, which are not bad losses at all, honestly. Defend the North, he beat Venom before going out to Light Lade. CEO, he gets 9th, beating Karama. slipping Jimmy before it's time. Actually, no, it wasn't. The show just was done. But DeBuzz and Nairo, not bad loss at all. 17th at Smash and Splash, beating Yeti, only losing to Leo Secretary. Skilly as well. I think I remember Skilly being. I'm not gonna get sidetracked, but I remember Skilly being a pretty decent player. And then Secret Class, he did DQ out, but then looking here as well, 9th at Frostbite 2019. Again, that's a really impressive beating T, Fatality, Samsora, DM. Like, these are all incredible players at the time, and now, honestly, most of them. And only losing to Myron Light. 9th at Collision as well. Only losing to, again, Light Mars, beating Dark Wizzy, like, beating Leon and Light. Like, geez, just unreal wins. He was such a good player. He's here in the set. You guys get to watch some amazing play. A really good PT. Unfortunate that we don't get to see as much from him now, but that was in like the early games when PT was like schmoovin'. PT was incredible back then, and PT is still good now. It's just like kind of fallen out of meta of it. I think they have had a couple of nerfs. Like, oh yeah, Ivysaur got some pretty hefty nerfs, honestly. But they're still a very good character, and I hope we get to see more of them because they are sick. Now, moving on to someone who has a special place in my heart, Austin. Austin hasn't really done well at majors, or hasn't really gone to a ton of majors. He never really, like, I think he went to a couple. Here, maybe like 150, because 1,500. He went to a couple pretty decently sized majors, and he did okay at them. Like 65th at EVO is actually pretty good. Only losing to Seth and Void. 33rd at low tier city is not terrible. Second at this tournament with a lot of good players being Grayson there, Sea Falcon, Cosma, only leading to Grayson as well. So I guess he beat him in Grands one set, getting second there. DreamHack Dallas getting 5th place is actually really good. Beating Fatality, only losing to Anti-Mudace. Super Bit Wars, he got second, beating MVD, and then losing MVD in the grand finals. And then beating Cheeks, beating a couple good players there. Just like, he's a really good player. But the thing about Austin is he was a local menace. Like, just looking at his set records, he's 3-4 versus MVD, and this was when MVD was top 15 in the world. He's 4-2 against Lima, 3-3 Grayson, 3-1 Cheeks, 2-2 Trella, who is insane, by the way. If you don't know who Trella is, I feel bad. You just missed out. Sea Falcon, he's 3-0 against. Dakpo, he's 2-1 against. Deluxe Menu, he's 2-1 against. Orex, he's 2-1 against. Send, he's 2-1 against. SDX, again, if you don't know who SDX is, Smash 4 is a great game. Well, maybe not, but it was cool to watch. SDX 2-1. Burr 2-0. Carlos 2-0. And I'm looking for a specific player because I don't want to spoil it. I could just look them up. And here I go looking them up. It's ESAM. Oh, he's never played ESAM at one of these bigger tournaments. Oh, wait, that changes the records. Oh, shoot. So he's 5-0 in ESAM, which is crazy. And they are, all of them, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. He is destroying ESAM. And this was when ESAM was, again, amazing. ESAM is still really good right now, but he was definitely better back then. He's actually 9-13 against MVD, 18-5 against Cheeks. He is 8-12 against Lima, but still very good. 7-9 Grayson. He had so much potential. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see a ton from him. But I think at the start of the game, even though there was contention for like best Nest Gact, I do think that Austin was the best Nest at the start of Ultimate, at least for the first couple months. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see stuff from, or God, what a sentence. We didn't get to see a ton of him at majors, and then I think he has stopped competing. I don't think he's been in a tournament for like over a year now. Yeah, it's been about a year, or over a year and a bit, which is unfortunate, but hey, people got other things to do in life. It is, you move on. But huge shout out to Austin. One of my, honestly, just straight bias, one of my favorite players to watch at the start of Ultimate. He was so sick. Like, I highly recommend watching an Ultimate Shockwave set from Austin when he was like doing incredibly well. They're just very, very cool. Hey, so this is just me in editing. The person that I had originally in the spot was banned for relationships with a minor, which I did not know about, so we are not going to have that. Sorry for the re-upload if you're seeing this now. That is why. But the person that we're going to be talking about is Yeti, because it was either Spaghetti or Yeti, funny, that I was going to talk about, and I just chose Spaghetti kind of arbitrarily off a coin flip, really. But now I get to talk about both, which is lovely, really the best of all worlds. And Yeti hasn't had a tournament, unfortunately, since 2022, and it was April. He didn't do great, and then he hasn't had anything since like 2020s before that. But right at the start of Ultimate was when Yeti was crazy. His first tournament like that he was really good at, I think, was Genesis. He also won Retro Arena over Meister, Raven King, Daybreak. These are all amazing players. Comet. But I need to find the Genesis one because that's what I'm looking at. Genesis 6, he gets 9th place, which was unreal. He beat Kobe, lost to K9 Bruce, then beat Zenu, Sonics, Leffen, and MVD, and then losing to ESAM. These are all incredible players. This is when Leffen was super trying Ultimate. This is probably when K9 was the best. even though he did lose to Cannon there. But it is probably when Cannon Bruce was playing the best towards the start. Zenny was doing really well. MVD was doing incredible. Just a really good placement. Then second at B minus C tier, losing only Shiny, beating Skittles, which is very good. Not a great placement at Frostbite, but it was like a mega major. Everyone has to do bad eventually. Fifth at Full Bloom is really good, only losing to Mars and Esam, beating Seth and Mord. Third at Ragnarok, beating Leaf, who's a really good Peach player. Smash and Splash 25th is really good, beating Utopian Ray, only losing to Justy, who we talked about, I forget the order, but they were in this video. And the Cat, who are also amazing players, and I think the Cat had like a really good Smash and Splash run, if I remember correctly. And then Combo Breaker, he got second place, losing to only Meister, but he did get a win over Meister, and he also beat Zenoto anti-Dill. Dill is also just an absolutely incredible player. If you don't know who Dill is, I implore you to look up their Smash.gg plays, because they are unreal. They almost beat Light at, I think, it was Glitch Regen. I'm pretty sure that was. It was one of the more recent tournaments, but they're absolutely unreal. And so is Yeti. Unfortunate that we don't get to see more of him because he is also like an incredible player. Mega Man is like so sick to watch, and he still has like more good runs. I thought that was it, but no. He has a 25th at SmashCon, beating Wrath, Crow, Cryo, only losing to Tweak Meister, who are all amazing players. 25th at Shine, beating Puppet, JW, only losing to Buzz Send. Standoff 2019, they got third place, only losing to Elegant and Goblin, beating Mute, Shadow PR. Like, Yeti was unreal. Definitely the best Mega Man at the start of Ultimate. I will say, towards the end of the season, Kameme probably got it, and then definitely towards Season 2. But, like, right at the start, he was amazing. He got third at Pro Party 5. Oh, my God. I should have looked at this better before, more closely, because these are insane. He beat Meister again, beat Nico, beat Moxie. Like, these are such good wins. He is an incredible player. Really sad that we don't get to see him anymore. And, yeah, sorry for the re-upload. Back to the Red Programming. That's my bad. Is Spaghetti, or probably better known by most people as Arfang. Arfang plays Pichu, and that alone makes him sick, but he was also crazy with Pichu. The last tournament that we saw him at was unfortunately Let's Make Big Moves in 2020, where he didn't do amazing, but before that, he didn't do great at Summit either, but still, he went to Summit. He did, even though he didn't take games, I know it's like cliche, he still played pretty good. Like, he had a lot of pretty close games. Then fourth at Tri-State Showdown, beating Justy, Jackal, Leon, Scott, only losing to Naruto Buzz. Seventh at Big House, definitely his best run, only losing to Zach Ray Samsor, beating Wadi, Light. He beat Light. Trella, again, amazing. Moxie, PGR. Geist, really good. And then he just doesn't have a ton of majors, unfortunately. It was like, and then before this as well, he didn't do amazing. I think Frostbite, he also got upset pretty early on. Actually, this should have his Frostbite running here, because I know HBox beat him at Frostbite. But basically, this run alone is insane. This run for him and Cola especially were insane. And I think if Spaghetti kept playing, like kept traveling like Cola did, I could honestly see him being a top player. Just so much potential in him. He was absolutely incredible. Like, Summit improvement always helps people as well. Like this, like you go to Summit 4th here, 25th at DreamHack as well, beating Synergy, only losing to Wrath and Ride. 97th at Let's Make Big Moves is not great, but he's still got a Black Twins win, and we know how Black Twins is like a phenomenal player. So like, hey, he didn't get a great placement, but he went down swinging, and I think he's an incredible player. I don't know if we would have seen him stick with the Pichu because that character is Buns, but maybe it'd be interesting. But yeah, those are my 5 players that I chose. Rivers, again, he still does compete, and if you are interested in any at least sick Diddy gameplay, because his Diddy is actually it moves so hard, I'd recommend checking him out. Here's his things right there. I'd recommend checking out all these players on pgstats so you can go more in depth if you're not aware of them, and if you are aware of them, nice little callback. If you want me to go over some other players that are like, because there was a lot of people in this video that I just like, I didn't put in just because I had to keep it a 5. Like, again, Great Gonzalez was one, Frozen was one. We saw them coming up. There's a ton of amazing players that I just didn't mention. If you want to see me do a part 2, or you have someone in specific you'd like me to look at, if I get enough people in specific you'd like me to look at, then I'll do a part 2. And then if you just have someone else and like you're the only one kind of curious, I'll just answer the comments straight away. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to sub, all yada yada. Support has been absolutely phenomenal lately. It means the world to me. And yeah, I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.